Hi guys, it's always fascinating to listen to somebody from Reform UK because on many occasions you learn something new. Now Sarah Pochin, one of their MPs, was interviewed on Talk TV about her ex-colleague James McMurdock, who's in a bit of hot water at the moment over loans during the pandemic. Now it begs the question, what was the vetting process? Well, according to Sarah, there wasn't one. Have a listen.
One is your former colleague, James McMurdock, on the front page of the Sunday Times. Again, he allegedly borrowed tens of thousands of pounds in a COVID loans scheme, received a salary at the same time from an international bank. He denies any wrongdoing. So he's now not part of Reform UK at all.
That's right. So he's not part of Reform. He's gone independent. Look, it's deeply disappointing. I like James as a person, and so I'm really disappointed that this may be the situation. Of course, you know that I can't say anything. There's going to be an investigation.
Should there have been better vetting, though, Sarah?
Well, there wasn't any vetting at the time, of course. When James stood, I understand, obviously before my time, but I understand he was a paper candidate, which effectively means you put your name down, but you don't really think you're going to win. Yeah. He won. There was no vetting at all. And this is what happens. But Reform now are vetting heavily their candidates, which is why someone like myself, who has been attacked so much by the Labour Party, and they can't find anything on me because the vetting was done thoroughly. There's nothing there to see. And, in somebody like myself, who's gone through now the very high standards of the Reform recruitment, what you have in me is somebody that, the public can have confidence in and be absolutely sure of what they're getting.
Oh, okay, I'm a bit confused. So first of all, she said that there wasn't a vetting process. But Nigel Farage said that there was a vetting process. He said that the media would vet the candidates. Then he got a bit of pushback and he said, okay, we're actually going to set up a real vetting process. We have a company who's going to do the vetting. Then it turned out that the company didn't do the vetting. The company provided software to Reform UK to carry out the vetting. And a lot of people were not vetted properly. So now Sarah Pochin is saying that she was vetted. Well, in what way? Was she vetted under the software system, or is she vetted by Nigel Farage on an individual basis? How was she vetted? She says it was rigorous. She says it was a complete vetting process. I'm confused. Is there a vetting process within Reform UK or is there not? Because there are still cases of councillors or candidates to be councillors getting into a bit of hot water themselves over comments they made in the past. And the approach still seems to be, well, let's let the media do the vetting process. And that's not a very robust vetting system because the media doesn't catch everything straight away. And when somebody becomes a candidate and, a few days before an election, some information comes out about them, it's a bit late then to remove their name from the ballot or to try and distance the party from the individual. Look, I don't think Reform UK have a proper vetting process. The vetting process seems to be, do you agree with Nigel Farage? Yes, then welcome aboard. And then if it turns out that you're a bit dodgy, if you have connections to the far right, then we'll probably remove you quietly and hope that nobody notices. That seems to be the vetting process. Now, what's interesting here is, as a side note, is Reform UK, it seems, are demanding, at least at the moment, demanding a by-election in regards to James McMurdock. So they hope to win the seat back. If James McMurdock becomes an independent, is that why they want a by-election? Because when it came to Lee Anderson became an independent, and I don't remember Nigel Farage demanding a by-election. And then when Lee Anderson joined Reform UK, there wasn't any request for a by-election. So I'm a bit confused. Do Reform want by-elections when people defect or when people become independent MPs, or is not the case? I think they're being a bit hypocritical, but you also see that approach in other political parties. I'm of the idea that there should always be a by-election because people vote for both the party and the candidate. If somebody defects or if somebody becomes an independent, well, they're no longer representing the party, so there should be by right a by-election. And this applies to whatever political party we're talking about. But back to the main point, is there a vetting process within Reform UK? And what the heck is it?